Trump. It's scary. I get it. Even the word, the name, now that we know what it stands for, is scary. Trump. I get it. It's scary. Okay, I'm with you. But let's not kid ourselves. Trump is not a deviation from the Republican Party. The Republican Party sent out its secret super weapon this week, Mitt Romney. Like that's going to change anything in order to try to stop Trump, but he's not going to stop Trump. And let's not pretend for a minute that Trump is a deviation from Republican Party principles. Trump is a reflection of who and what the Democratic Party is. They set these forces in place. They've been exploiting racism for decades. Just one case in point, the so-called Southern strategy of Ronald Reagan, which had him announce his candidacy in the Mississippi town where 3 civil rights workers were tortured to death. This is not a deviation for the Republican Party. Trump is their monster. They created him. He is a reflection of their id, and now they must own him for good or evil, and I fear it is for evil. Now, some of us predicted that Trump could very well go this far and potentially win the nomination. I do not think it's cause for celebration on the Democratic side that Mr. Trump is now the likely nominee, because I think it is very possible, should he become the nominee, that he will win. So first of all, I offer you some quotes from Mitt Romney, who said in attacking him, I believe with all my heart and soul, we face another time for choosing, one that will have profound consequences for the Republican Party and more importantly for the country. Well, I think they do face a time of choosing, but I think that what they need to do is choose whether or not they're going to renounce the values that they've come to reflect and not just an individual candidate. And beyond that, I have 2 quotes for you to consider. One is from Nikki Haley, the Republican governor of South Carolina, who said, "It's scary." That's how she begins. I think what he'll do, meaning Trump, to the Republican Party, is really make us question who we are and what we're about. And that's something that we don't want to see happen. Well, leaving aside the unintentional humor of admitting that you don't want to reflect on who you are or what you stand for, she's right. It's scary. The second quote is from literature, not from politics. It is from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I beheld the wretch, the miserable monster whom I had created. He held up the curtain of the bed, and his eyes, if eyes they may be called, were fixed on me. His jaws opened, and he muttered some... Now, I want you, by the way, to picture Donald Trump while you hear these words. His eyes, if eyes they may be called, were fixed on me. His jaws opened, and he muttered some inarticulate sounds while a grin wrinkled his cheek. He might have spoken, but I did not hear. One hand was stretched out, seemingly to detain me, but I escaped and rushed downstairs. End quote. Yes, Republican Party, Donald Trump is your Frankenstein. He is your monster. You created him with your values, your strategies, and your tactics. You must either own him or change. You do face a time of choice. The choice is yours. Nobody can make it for you. Nobody can make it but you. So it is time for you to choose whether or not to reject your monster.